Again, the rain of the heavens is like treasure hidden in a field, which a man having found it, hid, and for joy over it he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Now, you might have trouble hearing me this morning read some word to you. And no doubt there probably won't be very many who will even bother to hear this. But just know that it's the only words I can use, I guess the best way to put it is it sucks knowing the way things are in this world. It sucks knowing that there's people who will talk schmack about me and never take the time to find out anything about me. And it's the same with all things. People give opinions about things, but they never take the time to inform themselves in order to give an informed opinion. I can't just sit back and, it's not killing me, but I don't know how I could just sit. I just can't. I can't sit back and just not read this word to you. Psalms 49. Hear this, all you peoples. Give ear, all you inhabitants of the world. Both sons of mankind and sons of man, rich and poor together. My mouth speaks wisdom, and the meditation of my heart brings understanding. I incline my ear to a parable. I expound my riddle on the lyre. Why should I fear in the days of evil, when the crookedness of my supplanters surrounds me? Those who are trusting in their riches and who are boasting in their great wealth. A brother does not redeem anyone at all, neither give to the Most High a ransom for him. For the redemption of their lives is costly, and it shall cease forever. That he should still live forever and not see the pit. For he sees wise men die, the foolish and the ignorant both perish, and shall leave their wealth to others. Their inner thoughts are their houses forever, their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. But man does not remain in esteem. He is like the beast that perish. This way of theirs is folly to them, yet their followers are pleased with their words. Selah. Like sheep, they shall be laid in Sheol. Death shall shepherd them, and the upright rule over them in the morning, and their form is consumed in Sheol, far from their dwelling. But the Most High does redeem my being from the power of Sheol, for he does receive me. Selah. Do not be afraid when a man becomes rich, when the wealth of his house increases. For when he dies, he takes none of it. His wealth does not go down after him. Though while he lived, he blessed himself, and though they praise you when you do well for yourself, he has to go to the generation of his fathers. They never see the light. Man who is rich, yet does not understand, shall be like the beast. They shall perish. There's been so much talk, I've noticed, chatter on YouTube. I can't say anywhere else, but I would, if I had to bet, I'd bet it's the same in other places, in circles and in other social media platforms. I'm sure that it's the same as what I've been seeing in YouTube. That a lot of people are waking up to the fact that there's a lot of hypocrisy going on in Christianity with right-wing people, just like it was back in like 2015, 2016 with left-wing people. And that is a lot of my motivation here this morning to get on here and try. I don't ever want to stop giving esteem to the Most High, but it sucks. Like I said, it's so sad to see the state of things for a lot of people that I know. We just read, and it's something we've been talking about, we just read how man's wealth, he can't take it with him. If this is about all esteem, if it's about Abba Yahuwah, the Most High, those who aren't esteeming him, those who aren't leaning on him are, I mean, you can probably agree that this world, it's nasty. The things that are taking place right now, it can't go on forever. And if you believe in our Creator, that he exists, if you believe that the Most High exists, you will probably agree that the way things are, it's not going to last forever. And if that's the case, who is it that he will redeem from this earth? Is it the people that are focused on their possessions and they believe in themselves, they believe in what they can achieve and what they can't achieve? Most quote unquote believers, they have their churches and their pastors. You know, I used to be one myself. And I used to be the type of person that I didn't give my ear to someone who didn't have a church or a following. I give my ear to people who had churches, buildings, and followings, who people gave their money to and support to. I just took that screenshot there, you've seen it, of the top above where I just read the daily refresh verse. It says, together we reached our Giving Tuesday goal because of our community and the generosity of our matching donor. We had the most successful Giving Tuesday. Over 78,000 people have helped us succeed our U.S. $2 million goal. Our $2 million goal. 78,000 people gave money just to these people, whatever this is, if this is the Bible app or whoever it is. 78,000 people gave money that exceeded $2 million to those people. And they said it was their goal. I'm sure they said they needed it for, I'm sure they had all kinds of needs, they said that they had, and was the reason they were asking for that money. But did they really need it? Those people I supported back in the day and that I gave my ear to, did they need the money that they asked for routinely? Could they have told the truth, spoke the truth, if they didn't have a building or a massive following, if they weren't on TBN or on the radio, if they didn't have books and DVDs, could they have continued and told the truth if all they had was the clothes on their body and they were standing in a field somewhere in a parking lot? Could they have told the truth, the good news of the rain? Well, of course. Obviously they could have. But you know what? If they, let's just use Joel Osteen, for example, and I don't know why he's always the first one that comes to my mind. And I'm not going to sit and go through a list. I'm not here to beat him up. I'm here to wake you up the best I can and to give all esteem to Abba Yahuwah. If Joel Osteen gave all his money away and the church that his dad built, and he wasn't on TV, he wasn't who he is today. He was just, if he gave it all up and tomorrow he woke up and all he had was his mouth with the Bible in his hand, and he stood on the corner somewhere or in a field or in a parking lot and spoke the truth, would all those people who give him all that money, would they be there religiously to pledge their support to him the way they do now? If he was in rags, if he went from riches to rags, would those people support him? No, they wouldn't. Not all, but most would not support him. A lot of those people I've seen in YouTube that have been, that they're waking up to these things. I see a lot of that is, I've stopped by pastors' videos, channels to see what they're talking about, because they're headlines. You know, they have those clickbait headlines and thumbnails, and I've noticed in the comment section a lot of pushback towards people that never used to get that sort of pushback, talking about them asking for money, basically selling the word of the Most High. I seen one, I didn't watch the video, but judging by the comments, there was a lot of comments in there saying, why do you have to have money in order to tell us this truth that you know? Why can't you just tell it to us? And there were a few people in there defending him, saying, should a pastor not be prosperous? One comment said, why do you need money to tell us this truth? You got 2 houses and a massive, like, super expensive motorhome and all these things. So they must have knew the guy personally to know he had 2 houses and a motorhome. And someone was defending him, a few of them were defending him, saying, should a pastor not have wealth and be prosperous and whatever? And I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm not saying that a pastor shouldn't have 2 houses and a motorhome. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, I'm asking this question: could that pastor who has that stuff, could he give it all up today? Or better yet, could he even just go and make one video, go a day, without asking for money, without plugging for gold coins and buckets of freeze-dried food, survival food, whatever it is that they plug for? Could he do it? Would he do it? He could do it, but would he do it? Would those people defending him, would they do it? Your preacher, your church that you attend, if you attend a church every week, would you still go see that pastor if he didn't have a building, or he never asked for money, if he just spoke and read from the word every week to you? Would you still attend their assembly? If he stood on the corner at Walmart with a sign that said that was convincing in some way people to donate to him, would you stand there beside him at Walmart and religiously attend that assembly every week. The Messiah said, it would be harder for a rich man to make it into the kingdom than for a camel to enter through the eye of the needle. The man who asked him what he had to do to make it to the kingdom, he told him that, and he said, go and sell all your riches, all your possessions, and give it to the poor. And the man went away crying. Can you give away what you have? Could your pastor give it all up today if he was asked? Now, I know most people's thoughts are, well, he's not being asked. That the Most High doesn't want him to give away all his possessions. That's probably your thought, right? Are you sure about that? Are you sure that the Most High doesn't want you to have to, he doesn't want you to come and be faced with that decision? Are you sure that's what the case is? Those who are redeemed are those who want to come. You can agree with me that this world is nasty and that the Most High is going to wipe the slate clean. So the ones he will take are the ones who want to leave this world behind, this slate. You can agree with that, right? So if you or your pastor, whoever it is, Joel Osteen, if they can't walk away from all that now for the kingdom, what kingdom are they choosing? Are they choosing the Most High's kingdom or the kingdom of this world that's so nasty, that needs to be wiped clean? It's not rocket science, my friends. The reason most of y'all can't understand what it is I've been talking about, it's the same reason people like Joel Osteen, like your pastor, don't talk about what I've been talking about. It's because their eyes are focused on the lust and the cares of this world, the possessions, the money, the houses, the cars, and the clothes of this world. They're not focused on the kingdom and the reign. Because here's what it comes down to. And you can debate with this all you want, but the truth shall reign supreme. The kingdom of the Most High in no way has anything to do with dollar bills, with money, cars, houses, and clothes in this life, in this, anything from this kingdom. It has nothing to do with anything from this earthly kingdom. So, if that's all you ever hear about from your pastor is the things of this kingdom, then that's what that pastor, that church, is That's who it belongs to. It belongs to the earthly kingdom that's occupied, that's focused primarily on the things of this world. They can't see the covenant, the renewed Jerusalem. They can't see the Messiah coming in on the clouds because they're too busy looking at the Benjamins coming into the offering plate. That's why they asked for it all the time. They tell you, they say things like, we couldn't do it without your support. If you give a one-time blah, 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 blah offering, you'll get this blessing, you'll get this and that. Does the Most High want you to ask men for money? Is that anywhere in the Word? It's not, is it? Actually, the Word's full of the contrary. The birds, do they ask other birds what they're going to eat tomorrow? Do they make a fuss over where they're going to eat, how they're going to eat tomorrow? No. They live like kings. Just like my buck. He don't think about who's going to give him what tomorrow. He owns this world, the land. He owns the land he'll be stomping around on tomorrow. All he knows is he's tired, he's going to sleep, and then in the morning, he don't even think about it. He wakes up and he stomps and he eats and he takes what's there that's been given to him. He worries about nothing. The only thing he is concerned about is living. Now, I know I'm the worst at trying to convey a message, but the message that I am trying to convey, it needs to be discussed. If you don't believe that what I'm saying is true, if you think that I'm sadly mistaken, the only way you're going to understand what I'm trying to convey is if we talk about it. If you were to come and ask me what it is I'm talking about, then we could discuss it and you could gain the understanding that you obviously need of what it is I'm talking about. If you can't do that, but yet you say you know that I'm wrong, or you say that you know what I'm talking about, what's the truth? The truth is that you don't know what I'm talking about. You don't care to know what I'm talking about. You just want to talk about me or anyone else. The problem with the lack of understanding, the reason you can't see these things I've been showing you on here, is because you don't want to see those things. If you can take anything away from what I'm saying here this morning, please take this piece of information away. We have to stop reading the Word incrementally. We have to stop going into the Word and reading one verse or two verses from this book, one or two verses from that book. We have to start reading the context. We have to start reading the whole thing in order to understand what it is I'm talking about. If you don't believe me when I say that thunder and lightning is the Most High whistling from the throne telling you to come home, it's because you haven't read enough of the context. If you don't believe when I tell you that lions roaring is regarding coming home, it's because you haven't read enough of the context, and you can't see it because you haven't tried to see it. Now, is there anything wrong with what I just said? Should we not read context? Would it be detrimental to our life, to our health, if we cherry pick verses here and there? You should be able to agree with me on that, right? So I'm going to read some of this to you, and then maybe you'll see why I've been saying some of the things I've been saying. Chapter 50 of Psalms. El, the mighty Most High Yahuwah, shall speak, and he shall call the earth from the rising of the sun to its going down. From Sion, the perfection of loveliness, the Most High shall shine forth. Our Most High comes and is not silent. A fire consumes before him, and it shall be very stormy all around him. He calls to the heavens from above, and to the earth to rightly rule his people. Gather my lovingly committed ones together to me, those who have made a covenant with me by slaughtering. Now, if you believe that what he meant by slaughtering was, if you think he means slaughtering an animal and sprinkling the blood on the altar, hold that thought. Let's see if that's what he means. Then the heavens declare, and see, the reason I say that is because a lot of people think that, right? That's true, right? And if that's not the case, how have they reached that conclusion? It's because they assumed that's what he's talking about. How do you avoid assumptions? How do you reach the truth? You have to search the truth for the truth. Those who have made a covenant with me by slaughtering. Then the heavens declared his righteousness. For the Most High himself is judge, Salah. Hear, O my people, and I speak, O Yasharal, and I witness against you. I am the Most High, your mighty Most High. I do not reprove you for your slaughterings, and your ascending offerings are continually before me. I do not take a bull from your house, nor goats out of your pens. For every beast of the forest is mine, the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know all the birds of the mountains, and all moving in my field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not speak to you, I would not ask you, for the world is mine and all that fills it. Do I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? Judging by what verse 13, the question he asked in verse 13, would you say that he does eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? You should, if you care, you should be able to see that question is rhetorical. He's asking you that because he don't eat the flesh of bulls nor drink the blood of goats. In 14, he tells you to slaughter thanksgiving to the Most High and pay your vows to the mighty Most High and call upon me in the day of distress. Let me rescue you, and you esteem me. How much esteem do we give the Most High if whenever we want to esteem the Most High, we kill an animal and pour blood on an altar versus praising him, thanking him openly, publicly, without any money, cars, and clothes, and houses, and buildings involved. When we're distressed, we don't run to man and say, if we don't pay the light bill, the lights are going to get shut off. If we don't pay the lease, we're going to lose this building. Is that esteeming the Most High? Is that having faith? Or is that doubt? That's doubt. If the words come out of my mouth asking you for money, that is doubt. If I am silent about that need and I trust in the Most High to give it to me and I just thank him and esteem him through all that instead, and he delivers me, I've slaughtered thanksgiving to him and esteem. I've trusted without doubt in him. Let me rescue you, and you esteem me. But to the wrong, the Most High said, what right have you to recite my laws or take my covenant in your mouth? Can you understand why he would say that? If someone who is reciting his laws and they mention his covenant out of their mouth, but yet they're doing things wrong, if they're asking for money and they speak from doubt, that's it's like an oxymoron. It can't work, right? You can agree with that. While you hated instruction and cast my words behind you. How many people don't want to hear that a pastor or someone shouldn't be asking the congregation for money? How many people who think that that's wrong? I'm sure there's people who believe I just committed blasphemy by saying that a pastor shouldn't ask for money like that. I'm sure there are. Can those people come to the Word and let us look in the Word to see why it is I say that? Most of them won't. They cast his words behind them. When you saw a thief, you were pleased with him, and you take part with adulterers. You let your mouth loose to evil, and your tongue frames deceit. You speak against your brother, you slander your own mother's son. You have done this, and I kept silent. You have thought that I was altogether like you. I rebuke you and set in order before your eyes. Understand this, please, you who forget the Most High. lest I tear you in pieces with no one to deliver. Whoever slaughters praise esteems me, and to him who prepares a way I show the deliverance of the Most High. Would asking people who attend my church for money, would that be me preparing a way for people? If we were like those back in chapter 49 and trusting in my riches, if I was someone who trusted in my riches and I boasted in great wealth, if my inner thoughts were of my houses and my dwelling places that I call after my own name, if I esteemed men for what they had and mocked men for what they don't, would I be preparing a way for anyone? The Most High, you can agree, I'm sure, he doesn't lie, right? He says, to him who prepares a way, I show the deliverance of the Most High. If we're doing all that negative stuff, is he going to show us the deliverance? No, he's not, is he? Chapter 51, verse 1. Show me favor, O my Most High, according to your loving commitment. According to the greatness of your compassion, blot out my transgressions. Wash me completely from my guilt and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions and my sin is ever before me. Against you, you alone, have I sinned and done evil in your eyes, that you might be proven right in your words. Be clear when you judge. See, I was brought forth in crookedness, and in sin my mother conceived me. See, you have desired truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you make me know wisdom. Cleanse me with hyssop, and I am clean. Wash me, and I am whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones you have crushed rejoice. Hide your face from my sins and blot out all my crookednesses. Create in me a clean heart, O my Most High, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Do not cast me away from your presence, and do not take your set-apart spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your deliverance, and uphold me, noble spirit. Let me teach transgressors your ways, so that sinners turn back to you. Deliver me from blood guilt. O my Most High of my deliverance, let my tongue sing aloud of your righteousness. O Yahuwah, open my lips, and that my mouth declare your praise. For you do not desire slaughtering, or I would give it. You do not delight in a sending offering. The slaughterings of the Most High are a broken spirit, a heart broken and crushed. O my Most High, these you do not despise. Do good in your good pleasure to Sion. Build the walls of Jerusalem. Then you would delight in slaughterings of righteousness, in ascending offering and complete ascending offering. Then young bulls would be offered on your slaughter place. Why do you boast in evil, O mighty man? The loving commitment of the Most High is all day long. All day long. Your tongue devises destruction. like a sharp razor working deceit. You loved evil more than good, lying more than speaking righteousness. Selah. You loved all devouring words, O tongue of deceit. Let the Most High also break you down forever, take you and pluck you out of your tent, and he shall uproot you from the land of the living. Selah. And let the righteous see and fear and laugh at him, saying, See the man who did not make the Most High his strength, but trusted in his many riches, being strong in his destruction. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of the Most High. I have trusted in the loving commitment of the Most High forever and ever. I thank you forever because you have done it. And in the presence of your lovingly committed ones, I wait on your name, for it is good. The fool has said in his heart, There is no Most High. They have done corruptly, and they have done abominable unrighteousness. No one does good. The Most High looked down from the heavens on the children of men to see if there is a wise one seeking the Most High. They have all turned aside. They have together become filthy. No one is doing good, not even one. Have the workers of wickedness no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread and do not call on the Most High? They are in great fear where no fear was. For the Most High shall scatter the bones of him who encamps against you. You shall put them to shame, for the Most High has rejected them. Oh, that the deliverance of Yasharal would be given out of Sion. When the Most High turns back the captivity of his people, let Jacob rejoice, let Yasharal be glad. O my Most High, save me by your name, and rightly rule me by your might. Hear my prayer, O my Most High, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers have risen up against me, and cruel men have sought after my life. They have not set the Most High before them. Salah. See, the Most High is my helper. Yahuwah is with those who sustain my life. He repays evil to my enemies. Cut them off in your truth. Voluntarily I slaughter to you. I praise your name, O Yahuwah, for it is good. For he has delivered me out of all distress, and my eye has looked upon my enemies. Should I charge to slaughter for the Most High, or should I voluntarily praise his name? Give ear to my prayer, O my Most High, and do not hide yourself from my plea. Give heed to me, answer me. I wonder and moan in my complaint. Because of the noise of the enemy, because of the outcry of the wrong, for they bring down wickedness upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is pained within me, and the frights of death have fallen upon me. Fear and trembling have come upon me, and shuddering covers me. And I said, Who would give me wings like a dove? I would fly away and be at rest. See, I would wander far off. I would lodge in the wilderness, Salah. I would hasten my escape from the raging wind and storm. Confuse, O Yahuwah, divide their tongues, for I saw violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go around it on its walls. Wickedness and trouble are also in the midst of it. Covetings are in its midst. Oppression and deceit do not vanish from its streets. It is not an enemy who reproaches me that I could bear, nor one who hates me who is making himself great against me. Then I could hide from him. But it was you, a man, my equal, my companion, and my friend. We took sweet counsel together. We walked to the house of the Most High in the throng. Let death come upon them. Let them go down into Sheol alive, for evil is in their dwellings in their midst. I call upon the Most High, and Yahuwah saves me. Evening and morning at noon I complain and moan, and he hears my voice. He has redeemed my life in peace from the battle against me, for there were many against me. The Most High, even he who sits enthroned from of old, does hear and afflict them, Salah, those with whom there are no changes, those who do not fear the Most High. He has put forth his hands against those who were at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. His mouth was smoother than curds, yet in his heart is fighting. His words were softer than oil, but they are drawn swords. Cast your burden on Yahuwah and let him sustain you. He never allows the righteous to be shaken. For you, O my Most High, do bring them down to the pit of destruction. Men of blood and deceit do not reach half their days, but I trust in you. Psalm 69. Save me, O my Most High, for waters have come up to my neck. I have sunk in deep mud, and there is no place to stand. I have come into deep waters, and the floods overflow me. I am worn out from my crying. My throat is dry. My eyes grow dim as I wait for my mighty Most High. Those who hate me without cause are more than the hairs of my head. They are mighty who would destroy me. My lying enemies, what I did not steal, I restored. O my Most High, you yourself know my foolishness, and my guilt has not been hidden from you. Let not those who wait for you, O Master Yahuwah of hosts, be ashamed because of me. Let not those who seek you be humbled because of me, O my Most High of Yasharal. Because I have borne reproach for your sake, shame has covered my face. I have become a stranger to my brothers and a foreigner to my mother's children. Because our door for your house has eaten me up, and the reproaches of those who reproach you have fallen on me. And I wept in my being with fasting, and it became my reproach. And when I put on sackcloth, I became a proverb to them. They who sit in the gate talk about me, and I am the song of the drunkards. But as for me, my prayer is to you, O Yahuwah, and at an acceptable time, O my Most High. In the greatness of your loving commitment, answer me in the truth of your deliverance. Rescue me out of the mire, and let me not sink. Let me be rescued from those who hate me and out of the deep waters. Let not a flood of waters overflow me, nor let the deep swallow me up, nor let the pit shut its mouth on me. Answer me, O Yahuwah, for your loving commitment is good. According to the greatness of your compassion, turn to me. And do not hide your face from your servant, for I am in distress. Answer me speedily. Draw near to my being, redeem it, ransom me because of my enemies. You yourself know my reproach and my shame and my confusion. My adversaries are all before you. Reproach has broken my heart, and I am sick. I looked for sympathy, but there was none, and for comforters, but I found none. And they gave me gall for food, and for my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink. Let their table before them become a snare, and a trap to those at ease. Let their eyes be darkened so as not to see, and make their loins shake continually. Pour out your wrath upon them, and let your burning displeasure overtake them. Let their encampments be deserted, let no one dwell in their tents. For they persecute him who you have stricken, and talk about the pain of those you have wounded. And crookedness to their crookedness, add crookedness to their crookedness, and let them not enter into your righteousness. Let them be blotted out of the book of the living, and not be written with the righteous. But I am poor and in pain. Let your deliverance, O my Most High, set me up on high. I praise the name of the Most High with a song, and I make him great with thanksgiving. And this pleases Yahuwah more than an ox, a bull with horns and hoofs. The humble shall see, they rejoice, you who seek the Most High, and your hearts live. For Yahuwah hears the poor, and he shall not despise his captives. Let the heavens and earth praise him, the seas and all that moves in them. For the Most High shall save Sion, and build the cities of Yehuda, and they shall dwell there and possess it. And the seed of his servants inherit it, and those who love his name dwell in it. The Most High is truly good to Yasharal, to those whose heart is clean. But as for me, my feet had almost stumbled, my steps had nearly slipped. For I was envious of the boasters, when I saw the peace of the wrongdoers. For death has no pangs for them, and their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, and they are not plagued like other men. So pride is their necklace, the garment of violence covers them. Their eyes bulge from fatness, their heart overflows with imaginations. They mock and speak in the evil of oppression, they speak loftily. They have set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walks through the earth, saying, Therefore his people return here, and waters of a filled cup are drained by them. They have set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walks through the earth, saying, How is it that their mouth would be against the heavens by saying, Therefore his people return here? I encourage anyone who disagrees with my assessment of what the Most High's getting at in his word. I encourage you to, if you don't agree with it, to come and let us reason together. Challenge my assessment and let us find the truth together. But until then, I'll relay this message once again, that the heavens is the truth. He's not talking about them talking about angels in heaven or anything up in the sky. He's talking about the truth. They set their mouth against the truth, saying that his people return here, and waters of a filled cup are drained by them. People whose cup are overflowing, they come and try to snatch that joy, that truth away by saying, no, they return here. That's not true. And they have said, how could the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? See, these are the wrong and always at ease. They have amassed wealth. Indeed, in vain have I cleansed my heart and washed my hands in innocence. For I am plagued all day long, and my reproof is every morning. If I had said, let me speak thus, see, I would have deceived a generation of your children. If I would have said that his children return somewhere else, I would have deceived a generation of your children. Yet when I tried to understand this, it was labor to my eyes, until I went into the set-apart place of the Most High. Then I perceived their end. And I can honestly say that that's exactly how it was for me. It was labor I thought I knew, but I didn't until I had went into the set-apart place. And the mockers and the scoffers, they'll think that I'm saying that it's on account of something I done. No, it has nothing to do with anything that I've done other than I walked. My feet took me to the set-apart place. And when I got there, I perceived their end, because that's where he gives that information out. It don't matter who you are or where you are. You ain't getting it until you do it his way. Indeed, you set them in slippery places. You make them fall to ruins. How suddenly they are ruined, completely swept away through destructions. Yahuwah, when you awake, you despise their image as one does a dream after waking. Before I had came to the set apart place, I thought, and it's documented, I could take you to the videos right now where I said these things. When I was in Egypt, I said that this was talking about a television screen. But if that were the case, it would be completely out of context, and it wouldn't have anything to do with his set apart place. It wouldn't be talking about how they say that his people, his children, return somewhere else. But in fact, now that I've been corrected by the Most High of Truth, I know that he's talking about that place that they claim his children return to. He ain't despised with the television screen. He despises their image, the image of the beast, as one does a dream after waking. For my heart was in a ferment, and I was pierced in my kidneys. I was stupid and ignorant. I was like a beast toward you. Yet I am always with you. You took hold of my right hand. You led me by your counsel, and afterward received me unto esteem. Now, I've had a couple people tell me that David, who wrote this, had never gotten stupid like a beast towards the Most High. That he had never done any wrong. And they said that because they were accusing me of being too far gone to know any of this. Why would he say, for my heart was in a ferment, and I was pierced in my kidneys, I was stupid and ignorant, I was like a beast toward you? It shouldn't take a toddler, a rocket scientist to figure this out. A toddler should be able to figure that out. Well, at least someone who's been intoxicated before, anyways. You lead me by your counsel, and afterward receive me unto esteem. Whom do I have in the heavens? And I have desired no one beside you on earth. My flesh and my heart shall waste away, but the Most High is the rock of my heart and my portion forever. Sounds like the priest, right? That's their portion, is the Most High. For look, those who are far from you perish. You shall cut off all those who go whoring away from you. But as for me, it is good to be near the Most High. I have made my refuge in the Master Yahuwah to declare all your works. O my mighty Most High, why do you forever reject us? Why does your displeasure smoke against the sheep of your pasture? Remember your congregation you did purchase of old, the tribe of your inheritance. You did redeem this Mount Zion, where you have dwelt. Lift up your steps to the endless ruins. The enemy has done all evil in the set-apart place. Your adversaries have roared in the midst of your appointments. They have set up their own signs as signs. You see how roaring is associated when the enemy, the adversaries roar? It is letting you know that they lie, that they set up their own signs. They make their own set apart place. It seems as if one had lifted up axes among the thick trees, and now all its carved work they have broken down with axe and hammer. They have set fire to your set-apart place. They have profaned the dwelling place of your name to the ground. They said in their hearts, let us suppress them all together. How would they suppress his children all together? Would reuniting them to the set-apart place, to their dwelling place, and in all truth, would that be suppressing them altogether? It wouldn't, would it be? They burned all the appointment places of the Most High in the land. We do not see our signs. There is no longer a prophet, nor any among us who knows how long. O my Most High, how long would the adversary reproach? Would the enemy despise your name forever? Why do you hold back your hand, even your right hand, from the midst of your bosom? End it. For the Most High is my sovereign from of old, working deliverance in the midst of the earth. You divided the sea by your might. You broke the heads of the sea serpents in the waters. You broke the heads of Leviathan in pieces. You made him food for the people living in the wilderness. You see how we feast on the flesh of the sovereigns? You should be able to agree with me that that's not literal what verse 14 just said. That people didn't literally eat Leviathan. You did cleave open the fountain and the flood. You did dry up mighty rivers. The day is yours, the night is yours too. You have established the light and the sun. You have set all the borders of the earth. You have made summer and winter. Remember this. The enemy has reproached Yahuwah, and a foolish people has despised your name. Do not give the being of your turtle love to the wild beast. Do not forget the life of your afflicted ones forever. Look to the covenant, for the dark places of the earth are filled with haunts of violence. How could it not be random if dark places of the earth filled with haunts of violence had nothing to do with the covenant? The Most High isn't random. He's right on time. Let not the crushed one return ashamed. See? It's all in context. It's all precise and according to plan. Let the poor and needy praise your name. Arise, O my Most High, plead your own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproaches you daily. Do not forget the voice of your enemies. The uproar of those rising up against you increases continually. We shall give thanks to you, O my Most High. We shall give thanks, and your name is near. Your wonders shall be declared. When I seize the appointed time, it is I who judge in uprightness. The earth and all its inhabitants are melted. It is I who set its columns firm, Salah. I said to the boasters, do not boast, and to the wrong, do not lift up the horn. Do not lift up your horn on high. You speak with a stiff neck. You should see by verse 5 that the horn is someone speaking. It's got nothing to do with a shofar. Not literally. For exaltations are neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the wilderness. But the Most High is the judge. He puts down one and exalts another. For a cup is in the hand of Yahuwah, and the wine shall foam. It is filled with a mixture, and he pours it out, and the wrong of the earth drink, draining it to the dregs. But I declare forever, I sing praises to the Most High of Jacob, and all the horns of the wrong I cut off. The horns of the righteous are lifted up. And lifted up doesn't mean numbers, subs, and following. Lifted up means in truth and in righteousness and right ruling. If it's cut off, they could still have all kinds of subs and following, but in wrongness and error, not in truth. In Yehuda, the Most High is known. His name is great in Yasharal, and his booth is in Salem. Salem. A beautiful place, let me tell you. Probably my favorite. And his dwelling place is in Sion. There he broke the arrows of the bow, the shield and the sword, and the battle axe, Selah. You are resplendent, more excellent than mountains of prey. Now, I looked at some other translations of that verse right there. Let's look together. Look at the NIV. It says, you are radiant with light, more majestic than mountains rich with game. Now, will you agree with me in saying that it's a little odd that they translated you are resplendent, more excellent than mountains of prey into you are radiant with light, more majestic than mountains rich with game? Let's look at this next one. You are more glorious and excellent than the mountains of prey. That one's more closer to it. You are glorious and resplendent, more majestic than the mountains of prey. Then he broke the fiery shafts of the bow, the shield, the sword, and the battle. How in any way is that TLV correctly translated? It can't be. Glorious art thou and excellent from the mountains of prey. You are more glorious than the eternal mountains. You are glorious and more majestic than the everlasting mountains. Glorious are you and excellent more than mountains of game. Glorious are you more majestic than the mountains full of prey. How wonderful you are more splendid than the hills full of animals. And you see it says God, and nowhere in any of them other translations does it even say the Most High or his name. It's not talking about splendid more than hills full of animals. You should be able to see, if you do your homework, that he means, it's saying you are glorious, magnificent, more excellent than the mountains, not of full of animals, but the mountains of prey, the predators' mountains. Yes, not mountains full of predators, mountains of the predators, of the prey. The stout-hearted have been stripped, they slept their sleep, and none of the mighty men have found their hands. At your rebuke, O my Most High of Jacob, both rider and horse lay stunned. You are to be feared, and who would stand in your presence when you are displeased? From heaven you shall cause judgment to be heard. The earth shall fear and shall be still. When the Most High arises to right ruling, to save all the meek ones of the earth, Salah. For the wrath of mankind praises you, with the remainder of wrath you gird yourself. Make vows to Yahuwah your Most High, and pay them. Let all who are around him bring presents to the one to be feared. He cuts off the spirit of leaders. He is awesome to the sovereigns of the earth. My voice is to the Most High, and I cry. My voice is to the Most High, and he listened to me. In the day of my distress I sought Yahuwah. My hand was stretched out in the night, and it did not cease. My being refused to be comforted. I remembered the Most High and groaned. I complained, and my spirit grew faint, Salah. You ceased the watches of my eyes. I was too troubled to speak. I have thought about the days of old, the years long past. I remember my song in the night. I meditate within my heart, and my spirit searches diligently. Would Yahuwah reject forever and never again be pleased? Has his loving commitment ceased forever? Has the promise failed for all generations? Has the Most High forgotten to show favor? Has he shut up his compassions in displeasure, Salah? And I said, this is my grief, that the right hand of the Most High has changed. I remember the deeds of Yah, for I remember your wonders of old, and I shall meditate on all your work and talk of your deeds. Your way, O my Most High, is in set apartness. Who is a great, mighty Most High like my mighty Most High? You are the mighty Most High who does wonders. You have made known your strength among the peoples. By your arm you have redeemed your people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph, Salah. The waters saw you, O my Most High. The waters saw you, they were afraid. The depths also trembled. The clouds poured out water. The heavens rumbled. Also your arrows flashed back and forth. The clouds poured out water. The heavens rumbled. That's the truth. The voice of your thunder rolled along. Lightnings lit up the world. The earth trembled and shook. If you disagree with me that that's not literal, that it's talking about his voice telling you to come home, talking about the throne and the earth trembling, it's not literal, it's the lies are being shaken from their foundation and the truth is being revealed. Your way was in the sea, and your path in the great waters, and your footsteps were not known. You did lead your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. If you don't agree with me that that's the case, please come, let us reason together. My people, give ear to my Torah, incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I open my mouth in a parable, I utter riddles of old, which we have heard and known, for our fathers have related them to us. We do not hide them from their children, relating to the generation to come the praises of Yahuwah and his strength and his wonders which he has done. For he has raised a witness in Jacob and set a Torah in Yasharal, which he commanded our fathers to teach them to their children, that it might be known to a generation to come, to children who would be born, to rise up and relate them to their children, and place their trust in the Most High, and not forget the works of the Most High, but watch over his commands, and not be like their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation which did not prepare its heart, whose spirit was not steadfast to the Most High. The children of Ephraim, armed bowmen, turned back in the day of battle. They did not guard the covenant of the Most High, they refused to walk in his Torah. And they forgot his deeds and his wonders which he had shown them. He did wonders in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt, Mitzrayim, in the field of Zoan. He split the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters stand up like a heap, and led them with the cloud by day, and all the night with a light of fire. He split the rocks in the wilderness and made them drink as from the great depths, and brought forth streams from the rock, and caused waters to come down as rivers. Yet they sinned still more against him, to rebel against the Most High in the desert. And they tried the Most High in their heart by asking food according to their desire. According to their desire. Would he give you a snake if you ask him for an egg? No. If you're asking for food according to your desire, you're asking for the word to fit your desire, to tell you that it's all about the Benjamins, baby. And they spoke against the Most High. They said, Is the Most High able to set a table in the wilderness? Look, he struck the rock so that the waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. Is he able to give bread also? Would he provide meat for his people? Therefore Yahuwah heard, and he was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and displeasure also came up against Yasharal, because they did not believe in the Most High, neither did they trust in his deliverance. Yet he had commanded the clouds above and opened the doors of the heavens. And he rained down manna on them to eat, and he gave them the grain of the heavens. Men ate bread of the mighty. He sent them provisions to satisfaction. He made an east wind blow in the heavens, and by his power he brought in the south wind. And he rained meat on them like the dust, and winged birds like the sand of the seas, and let them fall in the midst of his camp all around his dwelling place. So they ate and were completely satisfied, for he brought them what they desired. They had not turned away from their desire. Their food was still in their mouths. When the wrath of the Most High came against them, and he killed among their fat ones, and he struck down the choice ones of Yasharal, in spite of all this, they still sinned and did not believe in his wonders. So he ended their days in a breath, and their years in trouble. When he killed them, then they sought him, and they returned and did earnestly seek the Most High. And they remembered that the Most High was their rock, and the Most High their Redeemer. But they flattered him with their mouth, and they lied to him with their tongue. For their heart was not steadfast with him, and they were not true to his covenant. But he, the compassionate one, pardoned crookedness, and did not destroy them, and many a time he turned his displeasure away, and did not stir up all his wrath. For he remembered that they were but flesh, a passing breath that does not return. How often they rebelled against him in the wilderness, and grieved him in the desert. And again they tried the Most High, and provoked to set apart one of Yasharal. They did not remember his hand, the day when he redeemed them from the adversary. How he worked his signs in Egypt, and his wonders in the field of Soan. He turned their rivers into blood, and they could not drink their streams. He sent among them swarms of flies, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them, and gave their crops to the caterpillar, and their labor to the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost, and gave their beasts over to the hail, and their livestock to bolts of fire. He sent on them the burning of his displeasure, wrath and rage and distress, a deputation of messengers of evils. He made a path for his displeasure. He did not spare their being from death, but gave their life over to the plague. And he struck all the firstborn in Egypt, the first fruits of strength in the tents of Ham. Then made his own people go forth like sheep, and led them in the wilderness like a flock. And he led them on safely, and they did not fear, but the sea covered their enemies. And he brought them to the border of his set-apart place, this mountain which his right hand had gained, and drove out nations before them, and allotted them a measured inheritance, and made the tribes of Yasharal dwell in their tents. Yet they tried and rebelled against the Most High, and did not guard his witnesses. But they turned back and acted treacherously like their fathers. They twisted like a treacherous bow, for they enraged him with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their carved images. When the Most High heard this, he was wroth and greatly despised Yasharal. And he left the dwelling place of Shiloh, the tent which he had set up among men, and he gave his strength into captivity, and his comeliness into the hand of the adversary. And he gave his people over to the sword, and he was wroth with his inheritance. His young men were consumed by fire, and his maidens were not praised. His priests fell by the sword, and their widows could not weep. Then Yahuwah awoke as one asleep, as a mighty man who shouts because of wine, and he struck his adversaries backwards. He put them to an everlasting reproach. Then he rejected the tent of Joseph, and did not choose the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Yehudah, Mount Zion, which he loved. And he built his set-apart place like the heights, like the earth he founded it forever. And he chose David, his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds. He brought him in from tending the ewes, to shepherd Jacob his people, and Yasharal his inheritance. and he shepherded them according to the integrity of his heart and led them by the skill of his hands. O my Most High, the nations have come into your inheritance. They have defiled your set-apart Hakal. They turned Jerusalem into ruins. They have given the dead bodies of your servants as food for the birds of the heavens, the flesh of your lovingly committed ones to the wild beasts of the earth. They have poured out their blood like water all around Jerusalem with no one to bury them. We have become a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a mockery to those who are around us. How long, O Yahuwah, would you be enraged forever? Would your jealousy burn like fire? Pour out your wrath on the nations who have not known you, and on reigns that have not called on your name. For they have devoured Jacob and laid waste his pasture. Do not remember against the crookedness of the fathers. Let your compassion speedily meet us, for we have been greatly weakened. Help us, O my Most High, of our deliverance, for the sake of the esteem of your name, and deliver us and cover our sins for your name's sake. Why should the nations say, where is their Most High? Let the vengeance of the outpoured blood of your servants be known among the nations before our eyes. Let the groaning of the prisoner come before you. According to the greatness of your arm, preserve those appointed to death, and repay to our neighbors sevenfold their reproach unto their bosom, which they have reproached you. With which they have reproached you, O Yahuwah. And we, your people, and the sheep of your pasture, we give thanks to you forever. From generation to generation, we show forth your praise. How lovely are your dwelling places, O Yahuwah of hosts. My being has longed and even fainted for the courts of Yahuwah. My heart and my flesh cry out for the living Most High. Even the sparrow has found a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she has put her young ones. Your slaughter places, O Yahuwah of hosts, my sovereign and my mighty Most High. Blessed are those who dwell in your house. They are ever praising you, Salah. Blessed is the man whose strength is in you. Your highways are in their heart. Passing through the valley of weeping, they make it a fountain. The teacher also covers it with blessings. They go from strength to strength, appearing before the Most High in Zion. O Yahuwah, the Most High of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O my Most High of Jacob, Salah. O my Most High, see our shield and look upon the face of your anointed. For a day in your courts is better than 1,000 days. I have chosen rather to be a doorkeeper in the house of my Most High than to dwell in the tents of the wrong. For Yahuwah, the Most High, is a sun and a shield. Yahuwah gives favor and esteem. He withholds no good matter from those who walk blamelessly. O Yahuwah of hosts, blessed is the man who trusts in you. Now, I want to get all of Psalms. I skipped through a few chapters, but we got every verse of the chapters I did read. And I assure you, but fact check me, but I assure you that the chapters we skipped are all saying the same thing, but for the sake of time, I read through a few of them that I knew might grab your attention, but I'm not holding my breath. I want to read from the Word wherever I can to be that makes the most impact on your opinion, that it isn't saying what I've been saying that it's saying. But like I said, I won't hold my breath. All I can do is hope and pray and give esteem, all esteem, to Abba Yahuwah. You either will drink or you won't. But that doesn't mean I don't have to lead you to the water. We read Isaiah 23 last. Let's get 24. See, Yahuwah is making the earth empty and making it waste, and shall overturn its surface, and shall scatter abroad its inhabitants. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the female servant, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the creditor, so with the debtor. The earth is completely emptied and utterly plundered, for Yahuwah has spoken this word. The earth shall mourn and wither, the world shall languish and wither, the haughty people of the earth shall languish. For the earth has been defiled under its inhabitants, because they have transgressed the Torah, changed the law, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore a curse shall consume the earth, and those who dwell in it be punished. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth shall be burned, and few men shall be left. The new wine shall fail, the vine shall languish, all those glad at heart shall sigh. The joy of the tambourine shall cease, the noise of those who rejoice shall end, the joy of the lyre shall cease. No more do they drink wine with a song, strong drink is bitter to those who drink it. The deserted city shall be broken down, every house shall be shut, no one enters. There is a crying for wine in the streets, all joy shall be darkened, the gladness of the earth shall be gone. The city is left in ruins, and the gate is stricken with destruction. For thus it is to be in the midst of the earth among the peoples, like the shaking of an olive tree, like the gleaning of grapes, when the grape harvest is done. They lift up their voice, they sing of the excellency of Yahuwah, they shall cry aloud from the sea. Therefore praise Yahuwah in the east, the name of Yahuwah the Most High Yasharal in the coastlands of the sea. From the ends of the earth we shall hear songs, splendor to the righteous one. But I say, I waste away, woe to me, the treacherous betray, with treachery the treacherous betray. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon you, O inhabitant of the earth. And it shall be that he who flees from the noise of the fear falls into the pit, and he who comes up from the midst of the pit is caught in the snare. For the windows from on high shall be opened, and the foundations of the earth be shaken. That's how they're caught in the snare, because the truth comes down from heaven, and it shakes the foundations of the earth. The earth shall be utterly broken. The earth shall be completely shattered. The earth shall be fiercely shaken. The earth shall stagger like a drunkard, and it shall totter like a hut, and its transgression shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And in that day it shall be that Yahuwah punishes on high the host of exalted ones, and on the earth the sovereigns of the earth. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and be punished after many days. And the moon shall blush, and the sun shall be ashamed, for Yahuwah of hosts shall reign on Mount Sion and in Jerusalem, and before his elders in esteem. Why will the moon blush and the sun be ashamed? Because the Most High shall reign on Mount Sion. That's why. O Yahuwah, you are my Most High. I exalt you, I praise your name, for you shall do a wonder, counsels of long ago, trustworthiness and truth. For you shall make a city a heap, a walled city a ruin, a palace of foreigners to be a city no more, never to be rebuilt. What is a palace of foreigners? It's a palace built by foreigners of the land that it's built on. Therefore, and because of this, a strong people praise you. The city of the ruthless nations fear you. For you shall be a refuge to the poor, a refuge to the needy in his distress, a shelter from the storm, a shade from the heat. For the spirit of the ruthless is like a storm against a wall. You subdue the noise of foreigners, as heat in a dry place, as heat in the shadow of a cloud. The singing of the ruthless is subdued. And in this mountain Yahuwah of hosts shall make for all people a feast of choice pieces, not for everyone, but for all manner of people, whoever wants it. a feast of choice pieces, a feast of old wines, of choice pieces with marrow, of old wines well refined. And he shall swallow up on this mountain the surface of the covering, which covers all people, and the veil which is spread over all nations. He shall swallow up death forever, and the Master Yahuwah shall wipe away tears from all faces, and take away the reproach of his people from all the earth. For Yahuwah has spoken, and it shall be said in that day, see, this is our Most High, we have waited for him, and he saves us. This is Yahuwah, we have waited for him, let us be glad and rejoice in his deliverance. For the hand of Yahuwah rests on this mountain, and Moab is trodden down under him, as straw is trodden down in the water of a dunghill. And he shall spread out his hands in their midst, as he who swims spreads out his hands to swim, and he shall bring down their pride together with the skill of his hands, and the high stronghold of your walls he shall bring down, lay it low, leveled to the ground, down to the dust. Now notice these numbers from these articles that just were released in the last few days. If you didn't know why I put the Thundercats guy here, Lion-O, on a couple of my videos, why would their name be Thundercats, Thunder Lions? It's the same reason that you'll see names like this right here, Exodus, the name of the one episode, or the Sword of Omens. The blade is also highly reflective and has reflected Mum-Ra's own reflection back on him, the Eye of Thundera. The Eye of Thundera is the source of the Thundercat's power and possesses a level of sentience consciousness that has led to it being described as alive, as the Eye of Thundera and the Sword of Omens exist as one in a symbiotic relationship. This has led to the sword being described as being alive also. When in danger, the wielder can summon the other Thundercats by shooting the symbol of the Eye of Thundera into the sky by shouting the battle cry, Thundercats, Thundercats, ho. You should already know. Since the Eye is the source of the Thundercat's power, what have I been telling you about the Eye of the Storm? It's the source of his children's power, the Most High's children. Besides the abilities of summoning Thundercats, it's able to blast through the full thickness of the planet from its core to the surface in a matter of seconds. It can also produce energy blast powerful enough to repel and overcome the full firepower of Rataro's starship. And It can destroy any spells that have been cast on the Thundercats, that have been put under any form of trance, mind control, or spells. Summoning them with the sword will break the magic holding them. One of the episodes is titled Return to Thundera. It allows its wielder to see across great distances, finding hidden things and spotting impending danger or allies that are in trouble with its iconic ability, Sight Beyond Sight. Notice this episode here, Return to Thundera, was aired on October 4th. Do you remember any significance about that day? You should, if you've been paying attention. Summary. Deep inside Castle Plun-Darr, the mutants are showing off their latest creation, a Plundarian warbot, to Mumm-Ra. Slythe demonstrates the robot's abilities by making it turn a nearby frog dog into a statue, just like Medusa. You just seen, I didn't read it, but I went through a couple of those screenshots of that jellyfish where it had 240 tentacles. Meanwhile, at Cat's Lair, the Thundercats are inspecting the time capsule that they had recovered from the caveman. The device projects a hologram of Thundera, and Lion-O marvels at the beauty of the image. Sound familiar? Does that remind you of John in Revelations marveling at the image of the beast? The moral of that story was no one can change history, we can only learn from it. The slaves of Castle Plun-Darr. The fireballs of Plun-Darr. Return to Thundera. The astral prison. Lion-O's anointment, second day. The sound stones. There's the sound stones. What they're housed in, does it look familiar to you? This here? It should. The episode after the sound stones is the day of the eclipse. And the one before, time switch. Should all make sense to you. Voldemort builds a sonic gun from a sound stone he stole in Darkside. Does that remind you of the Night Side from the Hex in the City story? It should. The day of the centennial total eclipse has arrived, and any spell Mumm-Ra cast will last until the next eclipse. He declares a day of decay on the cat's lair, causing it to fall apart. We were just reading about it in the Word. The same thing. The story, the true story of where these stories originate. The man who wrote these stories is named Leonard Starr. No doubt his name is Starr for a reason. It's the same reason you see stars on the flags. It's the same reason you see red, white, and blue on flags. Red is the blood of humans. Blue is the blood of the fallen stars. That's why that one over there, Isis Rael, don't have red on it, because they believe, you know what they believe. It's the same reason Epstein's building on Epstein Island was the same color. This here story is about how this species known as brute men were tricked by Mum-Ra, by the bad guys, into building Castle Plundar. "240 hours on the 24th. 240 electron volts in the oh my God particle. The scientists nicknamed the particle after a Japanese sun goddess, Amaterasu, or whatever, however you say that name. A variant legend recorded in the Shaki has begetting that goddess by holding a bronze mirror in his left hand. A large dimension mirror. In the lower branches they suspended white cloth and blue cloth. Remember when I was reading a story about the bronze mirrors and I couldn't figure out why they were found in Japan? Now I know, because I've been following the truth, the word, the way, and the life. That's why. Mirrors in ancient Japan represented truth because they merely reflected what was shown and were objects of mystique and reverence. Could this here be a sign of what's to come? If you type in Mountain of Peaks on your Google Maps, it'll bring you right to this place right here. And you can see all the peaks. Curry Peak, Kelsey Peak, Lewiston Peak, Low Peak, Markham Peak, and up at the top, Farnsworth Peak. You can see flat top, just like my dream that I had, where I stayed in the camper on the flat part of the mountain. Right where I went camping by Ophir, and I didn't even know it. And you can see Flat Top Mountain. It's looking this way. Let me show you why. A mountain of the Most High is the mountain of Bashan. A mountain of peaks is the mountain of Bashan. O mountain of peaks, why do you gaze in envy at the mountain which the Most High desired to dwell in? Yahuwah even dwells there forever. The Most High arises, his enemies are scattered, and those who hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, you drive them away. I always wondered how that would happen. I can see it so clearly now. Those Nikes, we see them every time. No one wants to open the word. No one wants to acknowledge the word and actually hunger for the truth that comes from it. The wrong perish before the Most High, but the righteous are glad. They exalt before the Most High, and they rejoice with gladness. Sing to the Most High, sing praises to his name. Raise up a highway for him who rides through the deserts by his name Yah, and exalt before him. Father of the fatherless, right ruler of widows, is the Most High in his set-apart dwelling. The Most High makes a home for the lonely. He brings out into prosperity those who are bound with chains. Only the rebellious shall dwell in a dry land. O my Most High, when you went out before your people, when you stepped through the wilderness, Salah, the earth shook and the heavens dropped before the Most High. This Sinai shook before the Most High Yasharal. How did it shake? Because you, O my Most High, sent a shower of plenty. You confirmed your inheritance when it was weary. Your flock dwelt in it. You provided from your goodness for the poor, O my Most High. Yahuwah gave the word. The women who proclaimed it was a great company. Sovereigns of armies flee in haste, and she who remains at home divides the spoil. If you lie down among the sheepfolds, you ain't got to worry about none of that crap. No money, cars, and clothes in the Benjamin's baby, because the wings of a dove are covered with silver and her feathers with yellow gold. When the Almighty scattered sovereigns in it, it did snow and salmon. Our mighty Most High is the Most High of deliverance, and to Yahuwah the Master belong escapes from death. Indeed, Yahuwah smites the head of his enemies, the hairy scalp of him who walks about in his guilt. The singers went in front, the players on instruments after them. Among them were the young women playing tambourines. There is Benjamin, the smallest. Benjamin was the youngest son of Jacob by Rachel, that he had with Rachel. Benjamin means the son of the south, the son of the right hand, or the son of the Most High's days. Because of your Hakal at Yerushalayim, sovereigns bring presents to you. Ascribe strength to the Most High. His excellence is over Yasharal, and his strength is in the clouds. O my Most High, awesome from your set-apart places. The Most High Yasharal is he who gives strength and power to his people. Blessed be the mighty Most High. All esteem.